CTV News with Sarah Freemark.
We begin tonight with breaking news. A local OPP officer who was working in Northern Ontario has been killed in the line of duty. Provincial Constable Tarun Bally was assigned to the Dufferin Detachment and had 2.5 years of service. He was on deployment with the James Bay Detachment. Constable Bally was killed in Hearst just after noon, northwest of Timmins. OPP say officers were conducting an investigation in that community when Bally was seriously injured and died. One person was taken into custody. No charges have been announced, and police have not provided details on how Bally was killed. In a posting on X this afternoon, OPP Commissioner Thomas Carrick said his courage and commitment to serving others will never be forgotten as we grieve this immeasurable loss, extend our heartfelt condolences to his loved ones, colleagues, and the policing community. Meanwhile, OPPA President David Sabatini released a statement saying this is every police and family member's worst nightmare. This is another reminder of the dangers that our members face each and every day as they serve and protect the citizens of Ontario. On behalf of the OPP Association, we extend our heartfelt condolences to Provincial Constable Bally's family, friends, and colleagues. The hunt continues this hour for a vicious dog after an 11-year-old boy was attacked just before the school bell rang Monday morning. He's still in hospital with serious injuries. Let's head to the scene now. That's where CTV's Rob Cooper joins us live tonight with more. Rob.
Well, Sarah, this is the scene where police say those terrifying moments took place. This here is Essa Road. Across the street is Loggers Run. It's an area where people are still very much on edge tonight, and police are still frantically looking for the dog.
I began to back up. I had noticed out of my rearview mirror that there was a shadow in the parking lot.
That shadow turned out to be a dog attacking an 11-year-old boy who was on his way to school. Sean Hillen was late for work and luckily was in the right place at the right time. After repeatedly hitting the dog, trying to free the young victim, Hillen ran back to his car and grabbed a snow brush.
Started hitting it, and I guess I had hit it pretty hard in the head with my snow brush where my snow brush broke. And then that's when the dog kind of backed up a bit. And my first instinct was just to grab the boy.
Hillen then picked up the badly injured boy over his head to keep him away from the dog who was still jawing at the boy. Hillen says the attack lasted almost 10 full minutes along Essa Road at Loggers Run.
Unfortunately, the dog was gone by the time we got there. The child was taken to the hospital with severe injuries, where he remains at this time.
Police describe the dog as a large bully breed, light brown coloring, also wearing a red leash at the time.
The attack happened just before 9 Monday morning. The dog was later seen near Patterson Road and Florence Park before being seen near Dove Crescent and Ferndale Woods Elementary. The school was put into a hold and secure. Police say they are still frantically looking for the animal and the owner. Many parents not taking any chances with their little ones until the dog is caught.
Usually they walk by themselves, but in this kind of situation, I just feel I'm going to walk them to the light and then watch them go forward and see what happens. I hope they find it for everyone's sake.
Because we live around the area and I knew it was kind of behind our home. And obviously my first concern was my children, and I have a baby, so yeah, it was very scary.
I just help him, get him up, get the dog away from him. That's my reaction, save the boy.
Okay, a few things to add now. The man who helped save that young boy yesterday told me today the person walking the dog yesterday was in fact just looking after the animal and is not the animal's owner. Police, again, still looking for the owners of the animal. Secondly, the Simcoe-Muskoka District Health Unit tells me today they are investigating the incident as they would anytime anyone is bitten by any kind of animal. And in any case where someone is bitten, they say, Sarah, they need to seek medical treatment immediately.
So, Rob, what's the latest this hour on the search for the dog?
Still active. Police say they are frantically looking for that animal tonight. And, of course, they are asking anyone who may have come in contact with what they believe to be that dog to stay away. Do not try and apprehend it. Simply call police and let them handle it. Reporting live along Essa Road in Barrie South End, I'm Rob Cooper. Sarah, let's go back to you in the newsroom.
Thank you for that, Rob. A park near Barrie's downtown is still closed to the public as police continue to investigate the discovery of human remains. The bones were found by a member of the public in Bursey Park on Friday afternoon. Officers arrived on scene and launched an investigation. A post-mortem examination was conducted at the Centre of Forensic Sciences in Toronto on Monday, but no information will be available until the deceased has been identified and next of kin notified. Officers spent today canvassing for video footage. A former Air Canada captain from Barrie is facing several charges after he allegedly forged documents and misrepresented his qualifications to his employer in Transport Canada. CTV's John Woodward has the details.
This investigation and the details surrounding it read like a movie script.
But police say this fraud was very real. An Air Canada pilot flying for decades, captaining planes full of passengers like 767s and 777s that he wasn't licensed to do.
During that time, he captained over 900 domestic flights, earning millions of dollars in salary for those captaining flights, but also flew tens of thousands of passengers.
Charged with fraud and forgery is Jeff Wall, who a posted biography with Ontario's Georgian College says once flew with Canada's Armed Forces and helped connect future pilots with careers as a part-time employee.
Canadian airlines are safe.
That's video of Wall in 2015 sitting down for an interview on CTV's Canada AM. He was the chair of the Air Canada Pilots Association during the period Peel police say he wasn't licensed. Air Canada said in a statement, despite the licensing problem, he was competent to fly, saying safety was not compromised by this incident because all pilots at Air Canada undergo mandatory recurrent training every 6 months to validate their flying competency.
I'm going to show you this. This is mine, actually.
CTV aviation expert Phil Dirty said every year or more a pilot has to show his license to what's called a check pilot, a person working for Transport Canada. But there's apparently no cross-referencing that with government databases.
So, you're taking it at face value, but when the medical is done, then it should be checked there. And then also with the database at Transport Canada, it should also be checked at that point as well.
Police say it was a regular check in March of 2025 that finally flagged the license. Air Canada called in Transport Canada, which reviewed the situation, and then they called the police. Police allege that Wall made a false police report to them to cover his tracks. Wall hasn't responded to messages from CTV News. He's considered innocent until proven guilty and did have a lower standard of pilot's license. John Woodward, CTV News, Mississauga.
As you just heard, Jeffrey Wall is from Barrie, and he was also a part-time employee of Georgian College. Today, the college released this statement. Quote, Georgian College became aware today of criminal charges that have been laid by Peel Regional Police against a retired Air Canada pilot and part-time employee of the college. This is an active criminal investigation. Georgian will not comment on the arrest or charges, nor on the current employment status of the accused, which remains an employment matter. A former aquatic supervisor with the city of Orillia, accused of sex crimes, was back inside a courtroom today. CTV's Mike Arcelides reports on what happened, but a warning that details in this story may be disturbing and triggering for some of our viewers.
Wearing a medical mask to cover his face, 45-year-old Manuel Mariquin Ramirez walked into the Orillia courthouse to sign a peace bond for a criminal charge of forcible confinement relating to an allegation the former City of Orillia aquatic supervisor forcibly confined a woman at the Orillia Recreation Center in March of 2021. As part of the peace bond, the Crown read the facts on the record, telling the court the woman came forward to police in September of 2024 to report what had happened to her, saying she feared for her safety. Mariquin Ramirez admits no civil or criminal liability by signing the peace bond, which includes a promise to keep the peace and be of good behavior for a year, with a pledge of $1,000 while staying away from the complainant and the rec center along West Street. Mariquin Ramirez was first arrested by provincial police in Orillia in September of 2024, accused of sex crimes involving a teenage girl in 2021. He was charged with luring a person under 18, communicating to obtain sexual services, sexual exploitation, sexual assault, possession of child pornography, selling or distributing to a person under 19, and knowingly supplying liquor to a person under 19. Provincial police said the second complainant then came forward with a separate allegation of forcible confinement, for which the accused entered into the peace bond. According to police, Mariquin Ramirez is accused of offering alcohol in exchange for explicit images of a girl, while he worked as the aquatic supervisor at the rec center. With trial dates set, Mariquin Ramirez is scheduled to return to court in early December. The remaining allegations against him have not been tested in court. Mike Arsley, CTV News, Orillia.
Yesterday, we told you about a truck that smashed into a Domino's Pizza in South End Barrie, and now we have it all on video. This security camera footage at the Domino's Pizza on Big Bay Point Road shows the moment the truck smashed into the storefront. Emergency crews were called to the plaza on Sunday afternoon. The pizza place was badly damaged, as was the nail salon next door. No one was injured, but the cause of that crash still not known. All right, Casey, let's lighten up our viewers' lives, shall we? Do you have good news on the way in terms of the weather?
How about a little watering for the garden and the grass? Maybe that's maybe a lot of watering for the garden and the grass. Let's talk about that with a first look at the forecast. And yes, we do have some rain on the way. There's no doubt about that. First look at the forecast brought to you by the graveldrivewayguy.com. They're your local gravel driveway expert. 24 degrees out here, Sarah. Beautiful south winds. 11 kilometers an hour. They're going to pick up as the evening progresses. Let's take a look at the temperature outside your door as we speak. And yes, very, very warm. 27 degrees in Alliston, 25 in Mount Forest. It looks like the cool spot being 21 degrees in Owen Sound, 24 we'll call it in Perry Sound, and 27 degrees in Gravenhurst, Ontario. This, ladies and gentlemen, radar satellite images, and yeah, there's quite a bit of rain. And as you can tell by various colors, when we drop a little further back, varying intensities, and that's a good-sized storm, making a number of storms actually, making its way right across South Central Ontario, into the north and onto Quebec, into the Maritimes. And we're just going to tell you right now, Sarah, that there is a lot of rain coming. Some of it does have thunderstorm possibilities. That's where we're sitting right now. No severe thunderstorm watches or warnings right now, so we're keeping our eyes on that. We'll update you throughout the show. Back inside.
Thanks for that, Case. Let's talk about the Barrie Air Show. It's coming up this weekend, and today organizers released the full weekend programming list. The show's main attraction is the Canadian Forces Snowbirds, which will be one of the last shows flying the iconic CT-114 Tudor jets. Other military performers include the CF-18 tactical demonstrations and the Skyhawks parachute team. There will also be a special twilight air display on Saturday night and a firework finale. It gets underway at noon on Saturday at Meridian Place and 10 a.m. on Sunday. Getting to Wasaga Beach for the summer just got easier as the town has launched a partnership with Flixbus. Starting tomorrow, there will be daily buses from Union Station to Wasaga Beach. It's part of the town's Take Me to the Beach campaign, designed and showcasing Wasaga Beach as a transit-accessible destination and encouraging visitors to leave their car at home. Currently, the town is undergoing a massive multi-year redevelopment project that will see the town's iconic beachfront turn into a year-round destination. And it is a big week for golf in our region. The RBC Canadian Open is set to tee off on Thursday near Caledon. CTV's Mike Lang was the lucky guy that had this story today. He brings us more on the preparation underway.
Practice is underway for this week's RBC Canadian Open. Players getting a feel for the fairways and greens as they prepare for the lone PGA Tour stop in Canada.
This country has a lot of history in the game of golf, and it means a lot to the people here. And awesome fans, awesome host organization with Golf Canada, and no matter where we go, we end up playing a really awesome golf course.
Last time I was here, I actually won the Pan Am Games.
Marcelo Rozo enjoyed some of the highest points of his career on Canadian soil.
I played my first PGA Tour event, the RBC, in 2015 at Glen Abbey. So Canada holds a special place for me, and yesterday I qualified for the U.S. Open, so Canada does me good, so I'm very excited to be here.
The tournament being played for the second straight year at TPC Toronto at Osprey Valley, which saw 130,000 spectators in 2025. Similar numbers are expected this week.
We got more seating for fans all around the golf course. Our fan village is grown again, and we've got the RBC Canadian Open after party taking place there right after play, so that's going to be a great spot.
The famous par 3 rink hole is back on 14.
We're so proud of, being able to represent the country. Anytime we have meetings with the PGA Tour, they say, when players, when the tour officials, when they look at the Canadian Open, it's kind of, it's a representation of Canada.
The 21 Canadians in the field of 147 hoping to deliver the next Nick Taylor moment, including Nick Taylor himself, and become just the second Canadian to win the tournament in the last 70 years.
It's everything for these athletes to come out here and try to make history as well. It's everything for us broadcasters out here too. It's the biggest tournament on the PGA Tour schedule for us in Canada, so it's great to be here at a great venue too.
The course officially opens to the public tomorrow, and players will begin teeing off for the first round at 6:45 Thursday morning. Mike Lang, CTV News, TPC Toronto at Osprey Valley.
Last month, the Simcoe County Auto Mayors, led by New Tecumseth Mayor Richard Norcross, launched the Canada North Vehicles Branding Initiative to strengthen the local auto sector. And it turns out the Prime Minister is taking notice. In a letter, the PM's office acknowledges the importance of a strong and competitive Canadian automotive sector and recognizes the need for ongoing collaboration with industry and municipal partners as federal policies continue to evolve. The town of New Tecumseth says it's a major win and signals their advocacy is not only being heard, but is helping to shape conversations at the federal level. Meanwhile, Premier Doug Ford is in Washington for a second day, promoting his Fortress North America strategy. The Premier was set to meet with representatives from the automotive, agriculture, and business sectors, as well as sit down with some high-ranking members of Congress. Last night, he attended a reception with Ross Perot Jr., who serves as chair of the board of the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. This morning, the Premier spoke with reporters in the U.S. Capitol.
We had a great visit so far yesterday, jam-packed, and jam-packed today as well. And just making sure that we're sending the message to policymakers, business leaders regarding building Fortress North America. So this is a really great document about getting the USMCA deal done as quickly as possible.
Ford says the Americans have expressed concern about economic uncertainty and instability during every meeting he's attended in Washington, and says everyone is holding onto their investments until a trade deal is done. The Premier says he spoke with the federal government and the Canadian ambassador before traveling to D.C. The federal government is reportedly planning to propose a ban on social media for kids under 16 years old.
As I said last week, with respect to AI specifically, the government will be taking steps to protect people's data, their privacy, and their children. So that is the focus of this government. Yes.
A government source tells CTV News the ban will be part of the online harms bill set to be introduced tomorrow. It comes as social media bans for youth have been gaining traction in Canada and right around the world. 3 years and still going strong, the annual Cricket Invitational returns to Simcoe County.
We're playing really well. Catcher's doing absolutely great. We're bowling. Everyone's bowling great. Carter over here, 2 wickets. 2 great wickets. Jack, my catcher.
Yes, sir.
Great catches.
Come on.
I had a couple of great catches myself, but they're hitting well, obviously. Got to show respect to the other team.
Clearly, those teammates work well together. Today, it was Banting Memorial High School from Alliston took on Bradford District High School. The teams of more than 10 players, leaving it all on the pitch at Joe McGanney Park in Bradford as the sport continues to grow right across the region.
Many varieties of game played in school, right? But cricket is one of the game which is getting popularity because of the specific demographics which come from different parts of the world, especially South Asian countries and other countries, right? So it is one of the platform for those students, but it is growing with everybody.
The Simcoe County District School Board launched the tournament in 2024 thanks to a $40,000 grant from the province to fund the first event and cultivate interest in the game of cricket. Still to come, decades of adventure all captured on film, when you'll be able to take in the works of this Canadian wildlife artist in Meaford. Plus, this local archive may be celebrating 60 years, but the records found inside its walls date back hundreds. We'll let you know where you can take it all in, coming up next here on CTV Barrie.
Presented by Paul Sadlin Motors.
Music, it's a small community, so when something's really good, we all want to be part of it.
We have an amazing music scene here. Having people come together in community, listen to some amazing local artists, brings the downtown alive. It brings our city alive.
Troubadour Festival 2026 is going to be off the hook. Road Amory's got the Watchmen, Bahamas, going to be great.
Thanks for staying with us. Started in 1966, the Simcoe County Archives is highlighting 60 records from the collection throughout the year.
The Archives was established in 1966 as part of the county's sesquicentennial with plans to collect, preserve, and make available the history of the county.
In celebration of the 60-year anniversary, from the oldest records to staff favorites at the beginning of each month, there will be an addition to the virtual exhibit. The SCA collects, preserves, and displays records focused on the history of Simcoe County at its now 18,000 square foot custom-built facility.
Anniversaries are not just about looking back and reflecting on times gone by, it's also about looking forward into the future.
Well, it's very important when you're looking back, even motions passed by previous council and you're trying to figure out exactly, records can get lost at the local municipality. You want to look back and see what's done, what hasn't been done. You can't move forward if you don't know your history.
There is actually a lot of unique material. We have a map of the New World from 1540 that, given how close it was to the European discovery of the New World, they got the gist of it in terms of the outline and shape. We have a letter written in the 20s from a Barrie teacher to her class as she was teaching in China.
And if you've ever wondered about the oldest record at the Simcoe County Archives, it's a page from the Nuremberg Chronicle from the year 1493, featuring woodcut illustrations and Latin script. It is a cinematic journey back in time with legendary Canadian wildlife artist Robert Bateman and groundbreaking biologist Bristol Foster as they embark on an adventure of a lifetime.
Life is an adventure. It's magical. I always wanted to do adventures. 19.
Director Allison Reed presents The Art of Adventure, a global expedition in a Land Rover dating back to 1957. The documentary has awe-inspiring footage and recent interviews with Bateman and Foster, who some say were pioneers of environmental activism through art and science.
It was a long process making the film. I spent 4 years making it and filming them and connecting with them, and you know, they're far more than film subjects to me now. They and their families are friends to me, so I have a deep connection with them now.
You could just as easily be killed pretty much anywhere they were.
I don't think
the film will be shown at the Meaford International Film Festival on June 15th. Very cool. First responders are showing up in a different way with the return of the Sirens for Life Challenge.
This National Blood Donor Week, we thank new and longtime blood donors here in Barrie.
The annual campaign that sees emergency workers roll up their sleeves to encourage others to do so coincides with the City of Barrie Summer Challenge. The idea, let's get more than 4% of the Canadian population to donate blood.
Summer is so difficult for us to recruit and have donors come in, and it's simply because it's beautiful outside. Everyone has family plans and vacations and weekends at the cottage.
Seeing them be able to now get involved and give back, not just saving a life on the scene, but also helps save that life through donation of blood.
We're very much a team. I mean, you know, police, fire, paramedics. I even, when I go first responders, start including nurses and all that in there too. So very much, you know, we see it firsthand and see the importance of it.
Sirens for Life is a healthy competition to see which service can make the most donations. Right now, blood type O positive is in demand as it can help any patient with a positive blood type. Sunday is World Blood Donor Day and the start of National Blood Donor Week. If you are looking for more information about any of the local events that are underway or upcoming, all of those details can always be found on our webpage, ctvnews.ca/Barrie, or scan that QR code on the screen. Still to come, have you ever noticed an RV or trailer in a parking lot for a little too long? With the rising price of housing, it's becoming a reality for some Canadians. More on that, but first, let's check in with Case. He's in the garden.
Environment Canada has issued a special weather statement speaking to approximately 50 millimeters of rainfall possible across some areas of our region starting this evening into tomorrow. Wow, it's a lot of rain and thunderstorms. And our weather watcher artiste, well, have a look. Yes, Alex says, I can't wait to get back to one of the best hidden gems as beaches in our area, Dunks Bay, near Tobermory. You're watching CTV News Barrie.
Hey, it's Martin and Steph
from Bounce 104.1.
And this week on the show, we're giving away tickets to see Roxette.
So make sure you're listening Monday to Friday for your chance to win.
Picture this, brought to you by Bounce 104.1 and Pure Country 106.
All I've been roasting are Red Hots. Wow, those are some amazing photos. We are encouraging you to send in whatever inspires you on the grill. So keep them coming. Picture this at ctv.ca for a chance to be featured. Although, Case, I think we can all agree when it comes to Red Hots, you know, the hot dogs, they're best done over an open fire. What,
yes.
What about you on the grill? What's your favorite? You can't say sardines.
No. Oh, Sarah, that hurts. Barbecue.
I'm sorry. I'll never get on the sardine train.
Sardine.
I don't
Anyway,
agree.
yes. No, I mean, barbecued salmon, any kind of fish is fantastic. You know, trout, fantastic. Lovely, lovely, lovely. And then, surprisingly enough, barbecued eggplant. Give it a try. It's pretty nice. Although, if you are going to barbecue, I'd get to it right away because we are looking at some active weather making its way towards us. So don't make it a late night on the barbecue. Make it an early night on the barbecue. Let's cue it up early and let's cue it up right now as far as the temperature outside your door goes. And we're going to throw in the Humidex because it is very humid out here. 35 degrees with the Humidex in Gravenhurst. Wow. Yeah, some kind of warm. 33 is what it feels like in Newmarket. 35 in Alliston, 30 in the big smoke of Toronto. And a very cool, comfortable 21 degrees in Owen Sound. Let's continue on with the forecast, looking at the almanac for today. And 26 and 11, that's the high, that's the low. 33.9 going back a long way, 1914. And going back to 1980 for one lonely degree. Back in 1980 for record low. Sunrise 5:34, sets at 9:02, 15 hours and 28 minutes of daylight. Say, would you roll? Oh, thank you very much, Adam. And you can see this system rolling through has some real possibilities as far as active wild weather. Yes, indeed. Environment Canada with special weather statement, up to 50 millimeters of rainfall over a very short period of time. So keep that in mind if you have plans for this evening or early tomorrow mornings. 17, 18 degrees, southern tip of Georgian Bay, Lake Simcoe. Overnight, 20 to 30 millimeters of rainfall is possible. Fog, too. A thunderstorm possibly? Yeah, it's all in there. And then for tomorrow, 25, 23, 27 degrees. Mainly cloudy skies, 40% chance of the showers and or thunderstorms continuing. And a Humidex value of 32 degrees tomorrow, so still very muggy. Orangeville, Bradford, Georgiana, Newmarket, Richmond Hill, 18, 19 degrees. Anywhere from 10 to 25 millimeters of rainfall expected for this evening. Thunderstorms certainly possible. Low-lying fog throughout our region. Tomorrow, 37 degrees with the Humidex. Shorts, flip-flops, are you in? Yeah, I think you are. Mainly cloudy skies, still 40% chance of some showers to cool you off for tomorrow. Parry Sound, Huntsville, Bracebridge, Gravenhurst, Haliburton, 17, 18 degrees, 15 to 25 millimeters of rainfall this evening. Showers, yes. Possibility of thunderstorms, check that box too. And 22, 23 degrees tomorrow. We're looking at a sun-cloud mix, but there is a 40% chance of showers arriving. And if the showers do arrive, there is about anywhere from 10 to 15 millimeters of rainfall in the area. Yeah, that's tonight and tomorrow. Now time for the Diamond and Diamond Lawyers 5-day extended forecast starting in Simcoe County. And here we go, closer to the weekend. There's Thursday, there's the cloud. seemingly wanting to stick around. 60% chance of shower activity. 28 cooling off on Friday. Still that 60% chance of some moisture in the area. And Saturday arrives, sunny cloud 25, and Sunday slight chance of a shower, but fair skies and 22 degrees. Looks rather pleasant, doesn't it? This is the 5-day extended forecast for York Region. Have a look. Thursday, a sun and cloud mix, 60% chance of showers, 30 degrees. That is without the humidex, more like 37 on the Thursday. Friday, cloudy skies, 60% chance of showers, cooling you down at 28. You might like it. 28 degrees, that is, without the humidex. And then Saturday and Sunday, it's looking like fair skies, slight chance of a shower on the Sunday, and 24 and 26 degrees. This is the 5-day extended forecast. Muskoka, Pairstown, Haliburton, and cloudy skies on Thursday for just about everybody. 25 degrees, and it looks like a 60% chance of shower activity. Friday, sun and clouds, 60% chance of shower. We're getting a little cooler though. 24 on the Saturday looks entirely pleasant. 24 and 13 for the overnight low, still in double digits. And then Sunday arrives, and at this point, cloudy skies and a slight chance of some shower activity. Sarah, back inside.
Now, while home ownership is out of reach for many Canadians, some are simply struggling to find an affordable place to rent. That's led to some people taking to living in highway carpool parking lots in trailers and RVs. CTV's Jeff Pickle has more on what experts describe as hidden homelessness.
The carpool parking lot is not much.
My backyard of sorts, I guess.
But for nearly a year, it's been home for George and his girlfriend.
Well, I was working, and then I suddenly lost work, and I couldn't pay my rent anymore. So it actually just started off with me just staying in my truck.
George's story is similar to so many others who find themselves without a home.
My girlfriend works landscaping and then snow removal in the winter, and I just work on cars. Yeah, we're hoping to save up into some money to get first and last.
While still working, they say finding a place to rent has not been possible. George says the isolation of the parking lot keeps them safe from unwanted conflict.
The last spot that I was at, the neighbors did. I mean, you see all my windows, they're all still broken from them slinging rocks with a slingshot.
Across the lot, Debbie's situation very similar.
Well, we came here because the rent got boosted up so high since the COVID.
With her husband working full-time, she says the trailer is a good temporary solution.
I'm a lot luckier than other people. They're in their tents, and I got security of the cameras here, the lights. I got my generator for electricity. We can bath, we can shower, everything here. So it's a lot better than most places.
Those who park at the carpool parking lot say they don't mind and say they've seen George and his girlfriend working hard to keep the lot clean.
They constantly are picking up garbage. So yeah, it's good. It's not like there's no parking in the parking lot.
Both the OPP and the MTO say they are aware and monitoring the situation. Experts tell us this type of housing is more common than we may think.
We usually think about the people that we see on the street in an encampment on the sidewalk, but that's actually only the tip of the iceberg.
According to Day, it's the stability that makes this an attractive location.
A parking lot or something like that offers to people is a little bit of consistency and a little bit of stability where hopefully they're not being moved along every few days, and so they can kind of get settled and figure out what next steps are.
And while people like George and Deborah work towards a better situation,
there is some good people that is homeless too. Just every circumstance is out there. So there's really no other place to go for us. That's why we're here.
They are hopeful to remain where they are.
Jeff Pickle, CTV News.
Coming up next on CTV Barrie, a safety message for pet owners before you head out onto the road. Do you secure your animal? Are you sure they're cool enough? Whether it is a quick trip or a long journey, it can make all the difference. Details next. Recapping our top stories, an OPP officer has been killed in the line of duty. Provincial Constable Tarun Bali was killed in Hearst just after noon, northwest of Timmins. OPP say officers were conducting an investigation in that community when Bali was seriously injured and died. One person has been taken into custody. The hunt continues this hour for a vicious dog after an 11-year-old boy was attacked in South End Barrie. Police described the dog as a large bully breed with light brown coloring, also wearing a red leash at the time. The boy is in hospital with serious but non-life-threatening injuries. And a former Air Canada captain from Barrie is facing charges after he allegedly forged documents and misrepresented his qualifications to his employer in Transport Canada. Police say Jeffrey Wall was flying 767s and 777s for decades and wasn't licensed to do so. June is Pet Preparedness Month, and in our region, many will be taking to the roads for those trips up north, or in my case, northeast. Now the concern, how are those with animals securing them inside the car? Joining me now from Allstate Canada is Agency Manager David Antonuzzo. Great to have you, David.
Hi, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
From your most recent research, can you share with our viewers how many pet owners are actually using something like a doggy seatbelt or a crate when they're traveling?
Surprisingly, less than half of Canadians from our study show that they are securing their pets. About 12% in harnesses or attached seatbelts and 32% in crates right now.
And do we know when it comes to, dogs or cats, are we seeing a difference between the two animals?
Yes, surprisingly, and from my experience as well as a cat and dog owner, about 61% of Canadians are allowing their dogs to roam free, while 63% of cat owners are having them restrained.
I know this question may be one of those ones that's got a seemingly obvious answer, but what's the danger of letting our animals, cat or dog, roam around freely inside the vehicle while we're traveling?
Well, distracted driving is obviously a major factor for all Canadian drivers today. We can obviously seriously have bad injuries to our pets in the event of a crash or sudden stops. We could also have injury to our passengers, and as well, when unfortunately there is some type of a crash or incident, it could cause problems for our first responders.
Okay, let's go through some of the issues that we tend to run into, especially as the temperatures rise. Talk about heat, the dangers around heat in vehicles.
Yeah, it couldn't be a more pressing issue with our pets, and we should never be leaving them in our vehicles. Especially during these hot summer days that are really creeping up upon us fast now.
What about when it comes to letting our dogs? My cat would never do this, but dogs seem to love, sticking their heads out the windows. But you're in fact saying that that's a safety issue as well.
Yeah, getting back to that distraction, and we're all guilty, a pet owner as well. Like I mentioned myself, it's great. We love to have our four-legged friends with us at every moment right there, but it is a major distraction and could definitely cause an incident that would be regrettable in the back end.
We're looking at a pug there that's got a seatbelt on. What are the options for people? I put my cat inside a crate, a nice big crate, because why not? I've got the space in the car, and it's a nearly 5-hour drive. I put a little pillow in the bottom. He still hates it, but it's the safest way to go. What are the other options when it comes to people bringing animals, big or small, in the vehicle?
Yeah, and that's the thing. There's so many options today that we do have. Travel crates, of course, for small or larger pets. We do have crash-tested harnesses and special seat belts for our pets as well that we can, get at any of our major pet suppliers. And again, we can, for our pets that like to be in the back seat, we can get safety screens or nets to secure them and ensure they're not getting into the front seat.
All right. Thanks very much for taking the time to speak to us today, David. I hope everybody has a very safe summer traveling with or without animals.
Wonderful. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Our pleasure. I've been speaking with Allstate Canada Agency Manager David Antonuzzo. So let's go ahead and bring up the website because you can revisit this conversation and, quite frankly, anything you see during the CTV Barrie broadcast, ctvnews.ca/Barrie. Turning to business news now. Today is Tax Freedom Day, when Canadians start working for themselves rather than the government. A study from the Fraser Institute says it took the first 159 days of the year to bring in enough money for people to pay their tax burden up front. That includes federal, provincial, and municipal taxes. In 2026, the average Canadian family with 2 or more people will pay nearly $73,000 in total taxes. Moving into our markets now, the TSX was down 67 points, the Dow was up 86, and the Nasdaq was down 250, and commodities oil was down, closing at $88.20 a barrel. Gold was down, finishing at $4,286 an ounce, and our dollar was unchanged, ending the day at 71.70 cents U.S. Let's talk local sports. The season may be over, but two Barrie Colts continue to get recognition for their outstanding play. Let's start with co-captain Kayshawn Aitchison. Today he was named a finalist for the CHL's Defenseman of the Year award. Aitchison will represent the Ontario Hockey League against the top defensemen in the Western Hockey League and the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League. Then the Colts' other co-captain, Cole Baudouin, was named a finalist for Sportsman of the Year. Baudouin recently won the OHL's most sportsman-like player after a great season. He too will be up against finalists from the WHL and QMJHL. The winners will be announced during the CHL Awards on Monday in Toronto. And how about this? The Brantford Bulldogs made history last night, drafting goaltender Sophie Jovanovic with the 40th overall pick. The 17-year-old is the first ever girl to be chosen in the U18 draft and second female athlete drafted to the OHL. Jovanovic played 17 games in the GTHL for the Toronto Marlies, where she was the only female player in the league. Still to come, taking a walking tour of Stratford, Ontario. A local woman has created her own business inspired by similar tours found across the pond. Details coming up next with us. Here's a look at your primetime lineup. Deadly Deed, a fixer-upper mystery, starts at 8, followed by Criminal Minds at 10 p.m. and CTV News Barrie at 11. The Stratford Festival is in full swing, which means an influx of tourists to the city. Now, a local woman has launched a new business aimed at teaching visitors more about Stratford. CTV's Scott Miller reports.
On this site here used to stand our old post office.
Lori Leduc is offering visitors to Stratford something different this summer.
I offer a guided walking tour of downtown Stratford, pointing out some of our local buildings, our unique architecture, and also telling stories about the people, places, and events that shaped the past.
Leduc has spent much of her life in Stratford and area, but after recently spending 18 months in the United Kingdom, she returned to the area with an idea that the tourist-heavy region might be missing something.
There was a bit of a gap. We had great audio tours, we had maps, but nothing about an in-person guide to take you around. And when I travel, that's what I like to do, so I decided to embark on that.
History is right up Leduc's alley with her Master of Arts degree in Public History. The Stratford Festival's epic history in the city is obviously front and center in her tours, as is its most famous native son, Justin Bieber. But Leduc does focus on many different parts of Stratford's past that tourists and locals alike might be unaware of.
I point out an interesting tree that we have growing in front of the Perth County Courthouse. It's a royal oak tree given to us by King George VI back in 1937. So coming up to be 90 years of age soon. So a neat little connection to the king and the royal family. I started a women's history tour. That's something new this summer. So I'm always trying to find new topics and new interesting information.
Leduc's Stratford Walking Tours also has a nighttime ghost walking tour along with a river tour, something for everyone, whether longtime resident or first-time visitor to the festival city, which sees upwards of 600,000 tourists each and every year.
In the summertime, during the height of the festival, I get the tourists who are visiting Stratford, but I get the locals as well. They come out, maybe want to entertain some family and friends, will bring out their guests, but also I do ghost tours, and those are very popular with the locals.
In Stratford, Scott Miller, CTV News.
I love the ghost tours here in Barrie. Listen, you've been doing this long enough. You could easily guide people through all of the coolest hot spots in Simcoe County and Muskoka, couldn't you?
Yes, and maybe one day I'll be a ghost. You never know. Maybe I'll be a part of it. You never know. You never know.
Don't come back and haunt me, okay?
You're number one on the list. Let's talk about the Get Up and Go forecast. First thing tomorrow morning, what are we looking at? Well, certainly some active weather this evening as far as showers and thunderstorms go, or the chance thereof. And first thing tomorrow morning, there you go at 7 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, we are looking at some fair sky opportunities, but there is also a very good chance of some showers and or thunderstorm activity moving right in behind it. 1920, might make that 1921 and 18 degrees at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. Have yourself a great evening. Stay dry, Sarah.
Yes, that is going to be a sticky one. Thanks a lot, Case, and thank you to everyone at home for joining us tonight. I'm Sarah Freemark. Jack will wrap things up tonight at 11 for you. Take care out there.